Hi, welcome to the Z Time Chat, the podcast for and by Generation Z.
I'm your hostess, Sophie, and I'm with Marin. What tea are you drinking today, Marin? I'm drinking oolong tea.
I am having a lovely green tea brew.
Oh, nice. And so a little bit about me. I go to Mount St. Mary's University in Los Angeles, California. I'm currently living in San Jose, California because of COVID. And what about you, Marin?
I am also born and raised in San Jose, although I am currently living in North Wales, where I attend Bangor University, and I am a second year student in social policy and history.
I forgot to say that. I am a first year student. I'm a music major and I'm a freshman. My pronouns are she, her.
My pronouns are also she, her. And that's just like a very surface level bit about us. And we thought it would be fun to help you all get to know us a little bit better if we just ask each other some fun interview style questions. So we'll kick it off pretty easy. Sophie, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color is a tie between purple and red. I love both of them, but am unable to wear red because I live in Eastside San Jose, where that's a very gang affiliated color. But yeah, those are my two favorite colors. What about you, Marin?
My favorite color is yellow, like soft yellow.
Nice. Good to know.
Dry yellow.
What's your favorite movie or TV show?
See, we plan these questions out ahead of time, and I still don't have an answer. I don't have a favorite movie because it changes constantly. Every time I see a new movie, I'm like, oh, that was amazing. Um, but my all-time favorite TV show is The West Wing, which is very outdated, but it is just still some quality television.
You know, I've never watched that, so I'll probably have to add that to my list.
You should. You should. You know what? Okay, you know what you would really like, which is not my favorite show, but it is great. Have you ever seen Mozart in the Jungle?
No.
It's on Amazon Prime, but it's so good. It's about like the New York, but no, New York Philharmonic Orchestra.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch that.
Anyway, what is your favorite movie?
Okay, so I said this to Marin before, but I'm always embarrassed when this question arises because my favorite movies consist of all children's movies. The top one being Ponyo, which is an amazing Studio Ghibli film, and I love Studio Ghibli with all my heart. And then the second would probably be Corpse Bride. And yeah, so those are my two favorite films. Very, you know, mature of me to like movies made for children, but it
I think the
happens.
idea of like children's movies is so silly because like the messaging is so great. I feel like that it's applicable to everyone.
I know. Yeah. And there's like different messages in each one of them. And then,
Yeah,
like the emotion. Yeah. So I love children's movies. I feel
I
like
would
they've
love.
gotten a little bit more depressing, but, you know, what are
Yeah,
you going
I
to
would
do?
love to take like a film class, but just on like the psychology of children's movies. I think that would be so interesting.
I would totally take that class because I feel it's it's like the two things I love the most is like analyzing stuff and then watching children's movies. So that would be perfect. Yeah, no, we should get that class started. Okay, on to the next question. Marin, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Uh, I that's a really large question. I'm just gonna like one thing I would like to have accomplished in 5 years. I would like to have graduated because hopefully that will be happening just next year. Um, and I would like to be proficient in a second language. So like I speak
Oh,
a little bit of Spanish, but I would like to be able to like be close to fluent, or at least able to keep up a solid conversation. So that's a 5 year goal for me.
that is a great goal. So Spanish is the language you want to be fluent in?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm from California, so I definitely should be able to speak Spanish.
It's very important here, I guess.
It is.
um, so for that question, I don't know specifically for me. Again, like Marin, I would like to have graduated. And I do want to be in grad school by then. So that's, a goal. But yeah, I would like to ditto that answer though as well. Marin's to the proficiency in another language. I've always like dabbled in ASL, and I really want to like get good at it so that I could have conversations. I know some phrases, but I don't know I can't hold a conversation with anybody.
Yeah, you are already bilingual though, right?
I am. I speak English and Spanish, so yeah. I would be trilingual, which would be great.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
I live in Wales, so I should pick up a little Welsh while I'm here.
Yeah.
But it's not going so well as of yet.
That's so funny too, because I always thought, like, when you had first told me about living in Wales, I thought, okay, that's cool because you're going international, but they speak the same language as you, but that's not the case at all.
I mean, it's like a bilingual country, so pretty much a
Yeah.
lot of people speak English, but a lot of people, their first language is Welsh. I live
Yeah.
with two of the girls in my house speak Welsh. Which, speaking of which, well, not Welsh, but we should just note there is a good time difference between us. So, what
Yeah.
time is it for you?
It is 9:15 a.m. for me right now. I'm Pacific time.
You got up nice and early for this
Yep.
session. It is 4 p.m. for me, so I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be having caffeine with you right now. But
Well, I mean, come on, it's a podcast with tea in its name, so you gotta have tea. Okay, what about what motivates you, Marin?
oh, so many things. I wish I had. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I feel like it is a really good question. Like what gets you out of bed in the morning? And I wish I had some like great purpose. Like every morning, I think in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna change the world today. And sometimes that is true. I'm like, you know what, Marin, you've got places to go and things to change and people to support. And sometimes that motivates me to get out of bed. And then other times, I I think about like the appearance of things, and I'm like, what would people think of me if I just didn't get out of bed and I didn't do any of the things on my to-do list today? So I suppose on some level it's peer pressure that I put on myself.
Yeah.
If I'm being brutally honest.
I mean, if that's what does it, that's what does it.
Like a little bit of competitive spirit in me is just like, you have to get up, you got shit to do.
That's amazing.
Oh, by the way, I guess we're allowed to swear because I just did, so that's the thing that's
happening. That's fine. I hope we're not offending anybody. I think for me, what motivates me is probably like the same societal standards that Marin just talked about, where like, no, you have to get up. But I don't know. I think my family has a lot to do with my motivation, and especially now because I do go to a private school and the tuition is not small. So, like not going to class is not an option, and not doing your best is not an option at this point because my parents put so much at stake with this school. So yeah, I guess I'm just an investment now. But yeah, that's what does it for me.
thinking about student loans simultaneously makes me get out of bed, but also makes me want to just crawl back under the cover.
Yeah.
Thinking about that.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely.
All right. One more question. Actually, we have two more questions. Sorry, I jumped a bit there. What is your favorite part of being part of Generation Z?
I feel like there's so much because I really love this generation, and I think it's so powerful that we're able to change stuff. in our like quirky little way. Because I mean, like you couldn't imagine like 50 years ago there being a platform like TikTok that completely duped the president of the United States, you know, and which was amazing. And you know, that was such a powerful move. And then with, you know, like all the different movements going on right now and how we've like totally stepped up and did everything that we could. And then I also think it's interesting with like COVID, how we're the ones, you know, pushing for a mask, and we're the ones pushing for quarantine and shelter in place and online school, even though it's not convenient to us. But if you look at it, the majority of us are the ones that are like posting about it and saying like, no, wear a mask, you know. Um, so it's like a combination of being the most common sense generation and the most, you know, like powerful and united generation.
Yeah. Why? I want to ask a follow-up question that was not on our question sheet, but why do you think that is? That we are sort of this like interesting like juxtaposition of things? Is it like the
I don't even
technology we
know.
have? And yeah, it's maybe this is a continuing question that will come into further episodes because I
Yeah.
feel like there's so much to unpack there. But yeah, we were joking about when we were writing down the questions. And I was like, TikTok, like stop, full stop.
Yeah.
That is my favorite thing about our generation. But I
Yeah.
think like to unpack that answer a little bit. Oh, sorry, I just started answering the question.
No, go for it.
There are two sides to it. Like what you're saying is like we are so motivated and driven, and I think a lot of that has to do with climate change.
Yeah.
And we're very awake that like this is our future. It may not exist if we
Yeah.
don't get our shit together as a society, as a planet. Um, but we managed to do it in this very just sort of like genuine, fun, and I think accessible, which I know is a hard term to use, but I do think it is accessible to a lot of people. Like format, you know, and it's funny and it's relatable, and we've sort of broken down the barriers of like, oh, if you want to make change happen, it has to be in this really high-minded, like intellectual way, and we're like, it just needs to be straightforward, and here it is. My
Yeah.
snapping is not sounding great.
You're like right next to the mic.
I'll
Snapping.
snap over here from now on.
Yeah. Okay, final question. What's one outcome for the podcast that you're hoping for?
I so many things, to be honest, and I don't know if I can choose just one. I'm excited to have conversations with you, Sophie, and with like I hope we can have lots of guests on, because I just think there are so many people. I think everyone in our generation is doing something that is worth talking about. And I want to talk about it with them and with everyone. And I want people to hear people talk about what our generation is doing and what's important to us. And we're doing such a great job of making our voices heard as a generation, but I still think we just need more platforms and to have these conversations and to take the time. So I'm excited to talk to people.
Me too. I think it's like a combination of that for me, and then just you know, like being able to say that we were able to like set up a platform and set up a community, you know, in this crazy time. And you know, I feel like we already talk like we're in a podcast, you know, just when we're like together alone and, you know, like just casually talking. We have so much like opinion and so much like stance on it. And it's really great to be heard and great to, you know, like get that out there. So that's what, I mean, I don't expect to have like a crazy amount of followers or, you know, like anything like that. It's just getting out there and talking about the important stuff and honoring our generation because like we just said, it's very powerful and very unique.
Wow. And I'm sorry, just to tap into sort of what you said, I'm excited to not have followers, but to like build a community
Yeah,
is what
definitely.
I really hope is an outcome that we get. And speaking of us talking to each other like we're on a podcast, we should talk about how we met? How did we
Yeah.
come to know each other?
We know each other because like 3 years ago we were both on, right? 3 years ago.
I think so.
We were both a part of youth commission in our city of San Jose, which is like a small group of students that represent each district of our city. And we just, like really got along through that. Youth commission is very about like student leadership and being involved in the community and getting people and getting others involved. And I think through that passion, we really like formed a really cool bond with it. And yeah, we talked always about, well, we always talked like we were in a podcast. So, one day we're like, hey, podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how we know each other. It's been, 3 great years of friendship and partnership.
And yeah, working in our community. And I feel like everything we've done has always like been sort of like around community building and change making and having conversations. We definitely formed some progressive alliances on the commission when we got in debates about things.
Yeah, definitely. She was my oh, go ahead.
No, it's all you.
I was gonna say she was the one that I would like kind of look crazily at. I think I even apologized to you and I'm like, when we're in debates, I feel like I scare you because I was just like
side-eyeing each other like, is this happening? Is it, we're on it, okay, let's go.
Like the Jim face, from The Office where he like looks at the camera and he's like, really? I feel like that's what I would always do to you. And then because she's a year older, when she left the commission because she graduated, we had an like kind of an aide for, not an aide, but like an assistant, what is it called? Like advisor, an assistant advisor for our advisor, and he kind of became the replacement Marin for a while, and he really got scared.
Wait, what happened? I don't know about
you
this.
Didn't know about? Oh my god! Because we would have the same debates, but I didn't have a buddy anymore. So the assistant advisor to our advisor, we won't say names, but the assistant advisor, he sat like right in my eye shot. So I would find myself doing the same like Jim crazy face to him. And then at one point he like asked me after like one of the meetings and he's like, are you okay? What's going on? And so I had to explain to him who you were and like why I kept doing that.
That is amazing. I didn't know that. And you're going to have to tell me names after.
Yes, I will. It was the funniest thing. And then some of like our other commissioners told him, they're like, no, it's because of Marin. They're like, she would always do this with her. So you're the new Marin.
That is too funny. I didn't know that. So thank you to San Jose Youth Commission for doing this. You get a little shout out on the podcast. And good luck to all the new commissioners this year.
I know. I miss you guys.
We'll have to have somebody on. I feel
maybe like Nicole. Yeah, Nicole. We'll have Nicole on soon.
Yes. Those are all of our questions. Is there anything else we need to say to wrap up?
No, just so this will be on our different platforms, and if you're able to make comments, you could ask us questions and we'll get back to them,
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at the Z Time Chat, Twitter at the Z Time Chat, and you can catch this episode and all future episodes on YouTube, again, at the Z Time Chat. Yep. And then, although our episodes are not up yet, they will be on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and probably SoundCloud too.
Yep, wherever we can.
Get us on all the platforms.
Yep. And next time we will be talking about the holidays and different events during COVID. So that's going to be an interesting convo, and we hope to catch you there.
How do we stay connected over Zoom? Although I feel like that's marketing for Zoom. So all of the different the different online video chat platforms, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting already, so we'll have a lot to say about that.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this little introductory episode.
Yep.
Catch you next time.
Bye.